Welcome back. It's your boy Ben Humble. We're here on the Data and the Drama Show, and today I've got an amazing conversation for you guys. We're talking about rising from the fire, rising from the ashes. You know that every day I bring you some amazing people that we connect with who've got just such incredible stories. And, you know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Your story really is what tethers you to another human being. So sometimes when you're feeling desperate and desolate and you're in a position or a place where you're afraid, and right now with all the things going on in the world, you might be lost and scared, and you might be saying, well, Ben, what can I do right now during this entire COVID situation? And I'm a victim, and you know, as a victim, I don't have a lot of options. Well, I'm here to help you, friend. I'm here to tell you in a very evangelical style that you are not a victim. You can be a victor over this whole situation, and it starts with a choice. So I'm so excited for today's conversation, and actually today's really cool because we've got a power woman in the house, which is awesome. I know I have a lot of male friends, but I have also a lot of women friends as well. But my wife is my main woman, friends. Let's just get that clear right now. No hidden agendas on this stuff, okay? Just to be clear. So welcome to the stream, everybody. Good to have you guys here, and I'm excited to talk to just somebody really amazing today. So if it's your first time connecting with us, here's what I want you to do. If you get a lot of value from the show, which I know you will, I want you to tag a woman warrior. Find a warrior in your life, a woman warrior, tag them and share the stream, because I know today's conversation will be super powerful. And if you're in Canadian real estate, which is what we do, and you want some help, we've got a free book for you guys at humble.co. Grab your free copy. So I'd like to get right into it today, folks. You know, I've got all my rigs are ready to go. I've got some samples. I'm going to get the bomb ready to go and cleared up for today's conversation. So, hey, before I do that, Jason, welcome. Tiffany, welcome. We've got Vinny, welcome. Good to have you guys here on the stream today. So I'm going to bring on somebody that I've got a lot of respect for. I've been actually watching her behind the scenes for a while, and we got connected recently, and she's built something amazing. Just a mentor to a lot of people, a lot of women especially, and just somebody who, you know, has such an amazing journey. And I want you guys to get the Kleenex boxes. We might go there today, and I want to have a really in-depth conversation with Danelle Delgado. So I want to welcome her to the conversation. Danelle, welcome so much to the show. So good to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. I'm already fired up from your intro.
Come on now.
Let's do it. Thanks for all you're doing for the world in this time. That's what it's about.
Oh, I love it. And you know what? Something that I hear a lot of times is, you know, wealthy people are greedy and wealthy people are self-centered and selfish. The truth is, folks, I find that a lot of wealthy people are so abundant thinking that in a time of scarcity, those are the people I like to look to for inspiration and motivation. They're usually the happiest, most positive people. So I love that whole attitude of just finding people who resonate in that. So before we get started, Danelle, I'm going to do something real quick. We have a segment called Data or Drama. So cue the music for me, maestro. Hans, you got it? Okay, this is a portion of the show. I'm going to just ask you a question, and I want to know, do you think it's data or drama? Does it sound real or fake? All right? Folks at home, I want you to participate with me here in this part of the segment here, and let me know your thoughts. So Danelle, here we go. 62% of small business owners don't know how to use social media marketing effectively. Is that data or drama? True or false?
Data, if not higher.
She says data, if not higher. Okay, folks at home, what do you guys think it is? Data or drama? 62%. Ready? Data. Yep, 62% of small business owners say Facebook ads miss their targets, according to Weebly reports. So that's a big majority of business owners that we talked about the merging of the industrial revolution to the information age. And now if you're not getting on board, so Danelle is here to talk us through some stuff. But before we get into any kind of tactical, girl, let's just start at the beginning if you don't mind, because I love your story and I just think it's so meaningful and I just think it's so pivotal. So could you kind of walk us through some of your journey from the beginning and kind of, you know, what led you down this path of mentorship and business ownership?
Yeah, absolutely. My entrepreneurship journey was birthed out of necessity, not excitement. You know, there's a lot of entrepreneurs who are running around excited, filled with hope. I was like, I need to feed my children. That's where mine began. Life, you know, I was a youth pastor and I was a teacher.
Okay.
And all of the homegrown, heart-centered jobs I could ever have, that was really what I was led to. I grew up with faith and family focused and followed the normal path. Went to school, got a job, had kids, you know, married. Well, I got married, then I had kids. And then in a moment, life changed. I think a lot of times when we make such big and glorious plans, we forget that we're not really in control. Our responses are what we can control. And I was all of a sudden on my own with a 3-year-old and 2-year-old twins. So they were 2, 2, and 3, and no home, no nothing. I had friends that rented me an apartment for about 30 days, and I had to learn what I was going to do. So at that point, I was a stay-at-home mom writing part-time from home, and it went to me having 3 jobs, 3 kids, trying to make ends meet, and I was failing miserably. And so the only thing is I was researching and asking friends, like I was like doing janitorial work, speaking, youth, women's events, anything from the youth ministry that I could, that like I was speaking at events for $50. Like, sure, I'll come for $50.
Come on now.
Considering where I'm at now, it's a little hurtful, right, to think back. But I really had nothing, and it was December, it was Christmas. I just want you to understand this moment about how much of a failure I felt like. I felt like I'd followed all the rules. I felt like my faith had led me. As long as I did what I was supposed to do, life would turn out, and I had lost everything. So it's December. I'm not sure how I'm going to pay rent in January. I can't buy Christmas presents for my kids. And I'm like, okay, this is an ultimate low as a mom, right? When your kids, you help them write these tiny little Santa lists, and there was nothing on the list I could afford, nothing. And as I look back at pictures to that December, I go, they were so happy with their $4 toys. Like that's all they got. They were joy and the epitome of that. And so in life, I think it's not always what we want. What we're given is so much better, whether it's $4 or whatever. Where I thought life was shattering, it was actually beginning. And it led me to sales. I was really bad, and I figured out how to train. So worst month ever. I had done like over 60 sales meetings to hundreds of people, sold 0 products. I was the worst sales human in the world. Called all of my friends in sales, auto, insurance, real estate, everything you could think, sat with them, wrote scripts, worked so hard. That next month I signed so much business. I went from like losing everything to being one of I think it was number 2 in the company in sales that next month. So a lot of times in life, our greatest tragedies like COVID, wiping some things out that we would never expect, have opened people up to what is possible. And it took a traumatic, not planned for event to lead me to my greatest career and impact possible. And so that's kind of where it started for me. I got good at sales, built it up, created an event company to train salespeople, then put it all online, and the rest is history.
Wow. I love it. I'm giving you a bomb already because I love that, how simple yet so tragic, but yet so beautiful it is at the same time. You see a lot of people, they go through that same kind of life. And I want to just go back and dissect a little bit of your story here. So would you say, or give us some clarity here. So you're in this moment here, it's Christmas Day, your children have a $4 present, right? And, me as an immigrant, I know that feeling where it's like, hey, you got something. Something's better than nothing. So like, we're excited to have it. What does that do to you? How vulnerable are you in that moment? And, I want to go there. How vulnerable are you? And then is the vulnerability some kind of a catalyst for you saying that's enough? Or what did it take? What triggered in you for you to go, no, I need to make a change, make a difference, do something else? Was there a defining moment there? Or how did that pour over?
Yeah, it still hurts, as you dive into it.
Sure. And I'm sorry, because I'm making people cry on the show, so I'm sorry. But
that's good. It's good. It takes me right back to the hunger of, I was gifted 3 children, and it is my job to provide for them. And it called me to a level of greatness I never would have found. So sitting there, feeling, I think most of my life I had really felt like a disappointment anyway. So feeling that at the ultimate one that it didn't matter if I let my mom down or my dad down, that I was always worried about the rest of my life. In that moment, I had let myself down and my kids down, which was like the worst thing. Now, they don't care about presents. It's none of that. It's that I couldn't force myself out of depression fast enough to get it together. Like, Danelle, you should be able to figure this out, right? So it just was a snap of, I will never let this happen again, ever. I'll work day in, day out. I'll become excellent. There's nothing you cannot learn. None of my success came from talent. It was all trained, and I think that's what transitioned from. I've had several pivot points like that. I had a pivot point there where I was like, never again, right? Never again. I don't care if I'm scrubbing toilets, never again.
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, I had built everything back up, was killing it in sales, and found out I had cancer. And so that was another look in the mirror and go, okay, so if you only have a short time left, are you happy where you're at? Are you doing your legacy work? And it made me switch from sales to building my own company, where I was 100% in control of my profit. I could give back what I wanted to. We never get to keep what we get here. So that was kind of the two big points where I looked myself in the mirror and said, okay, Danelle, let's really see what you're made of.
Make sure to subscribe to Ben on YouTube so you can stay up to date on everything Humble, featuring daily episodes of the Humble Podcast and weekly video content providing motivation, real estate strategies, and personal development for everyday life. Also, follow Ben on Facebook and Instagram for daily interactions. Check out humble.ceo and download a chapter of Ben's new book, From Communism to Capitalism, absolutely free.
I love that. Just the raw ambition of like, I got to get out of this. I got to make this work. And if not just for you, but for your children and for everything that you believe. I think it's so powerful because I really do think when we get put into a corner, that's when we got to fight our way out. And a lot of people are living maybe too much comfort. And maybe that's why they're not taking the appropriate level of action to get out of that comfortable situation, because what they want is greatness, but they've got good. And good is the enemy of great. So walk us through this. So you fight your way out of this. You're like, I'm never going to do this again. You start doing the sales thing. Something you said that I want to touch on. You said it wasn't talent. It was just hard work. A lot of people are going to complain and say, Ben, I'm just not talented enough. I'm not a people person, Ben. I'm not an outgoing person, Ben. I can't do this, Ben, right? Talk to us about the work and the discipline versus the talent. Walk us through that, would you?
Yeah, I think if I look at everything I do now, I had zero of those skills before. Like naturally, athletes, a lot of them are born naturally talented and they develop it.
Right.
I was born nearly mute. Like I never spoke. If you talk to people who knew me in high school, they're like, we didn't even know you talked. Like I never raised my hand. If they were calling on someone, I was like, head down, don't make eye contact because your face will turn red. Okay. So it was not natural. What was natural was, I think, my God-given, which is in everyone, ability to ascend. Like we are naturally born to grow, to ascend. We're born, we roll, we crawl, we walk, we run. That is normal. Those who train it build talent, right? They become Olympic athletes. Same thing. You talk, you squawk, you do words. Those who train it can sing. So it's what you do with your life. We're naturally meant to ascend, but it wasn't talent. It was, I knew I needed to move forward, so I chose to develop it. It was my way out. And so all of the entrepreneurs and stuff that I help, it's like, okay, what's the goal? The dream's in there. Well, it's God-given. Yep. It's not an accident. God doesn't play tricks on people and like, let's give Sally a dream she can't do. That's
Amen. That's right.
That's not how it works. So if it's in there and you recognized it, that's when you're meant to exercise it. And so I go, great, the goal's in there. Now let's become the one those results require, right? So let's learn those skills to do it. It's not about, hey, I can sing, hey, I can dance, hey, I can do those things. It's like, no, hey, I can learn.
So it sounds almost like, when you've got that inkling, it's like, hey, that conviction comes back in and says, hey, you're better than this. Come on. I love your idea of ascension. What a beautiful, viewpoint of this. It's like we're all ascending, we're all growing. It's just a matter of, are you deciding to live it out or not? It's already there in you. I love this. So well articulated with that. So where's that conviction? Somebody's sitting at home right now saying, man, this is speaking right to my heart. Why I'm not doing the stuff I'm supposed to do. What does that tie in for you?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When you hear it, you move on it. That's all you can do. All of your instincts, everything that we are is what we have habitually trained. So if you feel it and your natural inclination is to like stop, well, that's just something you've trained in you. I want to challenge you to take a leap. Great. Call somebody you know who's already doing that. Ask for a little bit of help. Great. Just do something, right? Everything works. Nothing doesn't. So like there's so many ways you could advance. There's so many ways you can do things. Just don't do nothing. That's what I would tell you, right? Reach out. Look at, you got two people right here who just want to serve the world. So just understand, you wouldn't hear it if it wasn't meant to be right now. You wouldn't even be in the right place to hear it.
Beautiful. So let's keep moving through this. And folks at home, I think, I'm resonating with this messaging. So I know that you are, and I know that we'll have thousands upon thousands of people that are resonate with this now or later, whenever they're listening to this. But you need something somewhere, and sometimes you hear it one time and then you hear it a different way and you're like, wow, that makes a lot of sense, but I've heard that before, but it didn't click until this moment. So I love that we're almost hitting this from a couple different angles. So walk us through. You're now coming back cancer. Where does that take you now? If you don't mind going there, and I appreciate you being vulnerable with me here, but where does that take you now? This mindset-wise, business-wise, walk us through that.
Yeah, so at this point, found out I had cancer. I had a business that was growing, but it required me being there, and I couldn't be there anymore. So I took my business from belly to belly in person with people to on the phone. I started setting people up for conference calls and all these kinds of things. It was before Zoom and video. I'm old. So, it was before really social media had taken off. Yeah. And so I was like, well, if they can't see my face and they can't see that I'm sick, I could still crush this, right? So I can't tell you how many times I kind of went through that process. I went a year going through that process, working the phones, but I also didn't have health insurance. So everything I had built up to, I lost in the year because I had to pay for my medical care. So I kind of went through this process, and it was like punch after punch after punch. And everybody kind of goes, Danelle, how did you not give up? And I'm like, how did you think that was an option? I never did. 3 kids. I knew I was meant to make a difference. And so here's what I tell people to work through. In that time when I got sick, I learned what I was capable of again. I was so strong. I helped one human completely transform their business, just one. And I go, okay, all it took was one human. There's going to be a million reasons for you to quit in whatever goal you are trying to give you. It's going to try and prove you wrong over and over. But if you know it and you're working towards it, you only need one good reason to keep going. One. I saved one business owner. I helped your business advance. And then it became, all right, if I can do it for one, I can do it for more. Then it was 2, then it was 3, then it was 100, then it was more, then it was online. And the world became my oyster. It was one. In the living room with my kids and the tent that we lived in because we didn't have furniture in that apartment. It was them. They were my one reason. Then it became the business owner who was about to lose everything and her kids, and she was a single mom, and so I helped one more. And then it became this, and then it became this, and it became my kid wants a horse, so I'm gonna work so hard I can have a property with a dang horse. Smelly horse, right? But it's the dream. So if you can just hold on to one thing that in all your might you can deliver, I just did the next right step to get that one thing over and over and over again. And it never allowed me to quit because it wasn't about my win. It was about who loses if I don't.
So in a world of so much oppression, negativity, opinions, nonsense, and all the 1,000 things that go wrong, what you're saying, if I'm hearing this correctly, is you just need one thing to drive you, whether it's your child, whether it's your ambition, whether it's that one business, that one piece. Because what else do you have if you don't have at least that one? And it's beautiful. It comes back to like a biblical story of going after that one lost lamb, right? which resonates with me because that's what my home church is all about, really about the one. And it's never too small as long as it's there. And it's just like faith. If you've got faith, just the smallest little piece, let's say the size of a mustard seed, for example. If you just have that, then that right there can drive you to accomplish amazing things. So I think we focus so many times on what we don't have, yet we lose sight of the things that are directly in front of us. And I heard it said beautifully this weekend that we're so busy looking at our neighbor's oasis that we think we're standing in a desert, but yet we stand in a garden. And we're not cultivating our own garden because we're looking at the oasis thinking we'll never have that. But the truth is, it comes from cultivation. It doesn't come from criticism or looking at what they have and what you don't have. So talk on that. How do you remain grateful in this time? Is the attitude of gratitude something that you had, or did you have to develop that, or how does that look like when you get hit in the face by life?
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty interesting question because that's the book that I have published is all about it.
There we go.
If you look at that, when I found out I had cancer, I had a friend who gave me a journal and said, I need you to write down 10 things you're grateful for every day. When you turn the page, you need to write down your goals. And I was mad when I got it, like, oh, yeah, right now when I find this out and I might die and, not be able to watch my kids grow up, I want to write down what I'm grateful for. Well, I'm not adding you to the list today, right? Like that's kind of the attitude that I had. But it's most definitely the practice that changed my life. So it ended up 10 things every single day slowly is what chips away at all of the experiences and trauma and lies that have implanted in people's minds, trains their subconscious to say that everything is opportunity, everything is abundance, everything is possible. And so I didn't know that was going to work on me. Turns out I built a best-selling book on gratitude, growth, and goals. And if you focus on 10 things you're grateful for every single day, 3 goals you have about hitting, just take it from here to a target, and learning 30 minutes to 1 hour a day. Well, it replaced all the negative stuff that I had in there about you're not worth it, you let your kids down. Because I worked for a church and went into business, a lot of people were like, oh, she got a divorce and she just loves money and she hates God. All those
the assumptions,
that judgments do. And I wasn't strong enough to stand for myself at that point. So I look at it, that became a rhythm to winning for me, gratitude, growth, and goals. And you attach that mentality to the faith of a mustard seed, God will grow it into something it's harder than I could ever explain what I have gone through, harder than I could ever put words to, more worth it than I could ever describe. And I want to tell you this, I think this is where entrepreneurs and humans miss it. They think faith of a mustard seed, but what happens is they misplace where the faith is. They put their faith in them or an opportunity or a thing. And if it works, they go, I got nothing left to live for. I'm like, the faith was always meant to be on one person. Just one. Just God. Faith can't be on anything else, right? I didn't have faith in my business. I didn't have faith in my skills. I didn't have faith in people because I've been ripped off before. I had faith in God. That if I just kept trying to do the next right thing, the next right impact, he was going to take care of me. So don't misplace your faith, but pick up those habits like gratitude that are going to change the steps you take. Rather than a step in hate, you'll take one in gratitude, right? Gratitude and hate can't operate in the same place. You can't be grateful and hateful at the same time. My son taught me that, actually.
Beautiful.
That's why they love the gratitude journal. So it's those habits and truths that you pick up. There's one thing to trust. It'll open you up to others. And there's basic steps that'll train your brain out of any trauma situation and make miracles happen. It sounds silly, but it's a
No,
fact.
it doesn't sound silly. It sounds very authentic. So let's keep going on this. I think this is a pretty important piece. And something that I like to think about is, people, their identity, right, is tethered to some reality. So sometimes their identity is tethered to their job, their money, the things they have, to other people. And when you tie your identity to, let's say, your job, and you're happy, you're excited, you feel good, you're confident, your job stops, what happens to your identity? all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I don't know who I am. I'm broken. I'm going into depression. I'm drinking. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And anytime you tie, I believe, your identity, anything of this world, you're asking for that opportunity to happen. Where if you just tie your identity to your faith in God, regardless of what happens in the world, you're going to say, you know what? It's ultimately not in my control. I relinquish that control and I just move forward every day. So all you have is the next step. All you have is the next. So I love what you're saying where people say, have faith in yourself, Danelle. Just have faith in yourself. You're amazing. You're the best. Is that a misguided language, in your opinion?
Yeah, because I let myself down all the time, right? Like the job is to learn how to prove it to myself. I have a very, so I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're talking about. This is perfect. I have faith in myself. I'm a woman of faith. I am a person that people look up to. I made a mistake recently, just over a year ago. I started to like alcohol too much, right? Like I went and hung out and did those things. And I started realizing, okay, when there's things that have control over me, I have to make new decisions, right? And so all of the things that are in there, I go, oh my gosh, something has control over me. It's distracting me from this, and people are using it against me, right? And all these things that can make me look bad. Well, I'm very hard on myself. So I spent about 3 months going, how dare you, Danelle? God gave you control. He gave you so much responsibility in this world, and you screwed up. You screwed up and you let people bring you down. God needed you to reach their message for them, and now they don't trust you either because you made a mistake. One day you made a mistake. Just one. That's it. I said I had trouble with alcohol. I had trouble with alcohol one day. So it was a rough day. Hung out with the wrong crowd for one day. And let me just tell you, if I would have had faith in just me, I would have quit and never changed another life. And so I'll tell you what, I had to go, okay, all right, no testimony, no tools. The next event that I spoke at was a year later, and I stood up there and I said, hey guys, I'm just going to tell you I'm here today, a year, no alcohol. Super excited about that. Just did it to prove it wasn't a problem. And a woman stopped drinking that day, committed to it. She checks in with me every month and says, you saved my life.
Wow.
And I go, thank you, Lord, for the testimony, because I could have beat myself up forever and quit because I was so disappointed in myself. I've actually never told that story because it's a little embarrassing.
Well,
but
no, it's powerful. It's powerful, and I appreciate you sharing it with us. And you know, that's authentic, folks. That's real life. Sometimes we look at people like, you know, like Danelle, and you're like, oh, you're so successful. You're next level. You're iconic, and all these words that we use to almost idolize people and idolize different things. And the truth is that we're all just people. We're all just people going through different things, and some people are in different seasons of growth financially, mentally, spiritually, whatever. But your season is not somebody else's season. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to have a fall. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have a spring and a summer. And I mean, I just so genuinely appreciate it. There's more endearment to the reality that, you know, you go through struggle like everybody else. There really is. Because imagine if somebody's on a perfect pedestal, first of all, it's a lie. There's no such thing as perfection. No human is perfect. There's no perfect scenario, perfect life, perfect. None of that. It's all a big facade. We're looking at an oasis, folks. And we're like, if only I had this guy's six-pack abs and this girl's Instagram followers or whatever it is, my life would be amazing. But what if that person is bitter? What if that person is like completely like out of control in other areas of their life, but you only see the area that they want you to see? So we're all living in this optical illusion life. So what advice would you give for people? Because this might be a little overwhelming. Like, hey, I get it. You know what? She went through some amazing things and now she's back on top. Amazing. But I don't feel that I have that confidence. I'm not necessarily sitting here with $4 presents. So maybe I'm not that motivated. What would you tell somebody? Because then I'll get into my thoughts on how I think everybody has the same rights and responsibilities in life. But what would you tell somebody in that position?
Yeah, I would tell them right now. I'd probably pull up my phone and I'd start showing them stories of all of the people who I've helped save their life, their marriages, their health, their choices, and said, it has nothing to do with you. That you know that it's in there and you don't do it is hurting other people. I'm like, listen, we have a responsibility, and there's something that you have that can teach certain people the ways that I can. And the only way this world moves forward is if we all do it. I think I think the biggest misconception is that it takes talent to win. It takes good looks. It takes luck. It takes the right connections. I am a pure fact of it takes nothing but faith and moving forward every day. Learn, train. I am a product of hard work and the faith that God never lets you go, no matter how many times you mess up or how little you think. He's going to raise your message. You're going to push out your voice, you know? It's just, for me, I couldn't do it for me. I couldn't do it for me. It had to be about who lost if I didn't win.
I love that. That is such a well-pointed thought, because it's so true. If you're doing it for yourself, and I believe the same thing, you're gonna run out of desire to keep pushing. Like if you're not doing it for other people and you're not growing to impact and serve other people, you're eventually gonna get bored. There's only so many cars and things you can have for yourself before your ego just says, I'm bored with this. Maybe I'll go do this, or maybe I'll go do this. But the idea that there's a unique calling on your life, and if you don't fulfill it, so many other people will suffer. For me, that's a trigger that forces me to say, get up, let's go, time to go. Like I came here as an immigrant, oldest of 9 children. My parents didn't speak English. I'm in Canada. They've got 2 or 3 jobs apiece. They're doing janitorial. We're helping them. You know, we go to, the Tim Hortons, and, they would give us, sometimes from the church mission, they had frozen donuts and stuff from the day before or 2 days. We'd go and get those and be thankful. And it's like, there's a whole nation of people back home and an entire country that have lived in oppression for so long. It's up to me to go ahead and make sure that I'm participating in the solution. And the only way I can do that is to fill my own cup first. Fill it so I can overflow and help other people. So I believe in that. You've got a privilege and a responsibility to take care of yourself, to make sure you're developing personally, to make sure that you're doing as much as you can with what you've been granted. If not, it is such a waste. And I think it starts with the idea that you are worthy and you are valued for who you are. And sometimes we just don't feel that, and we're just like, I'm not, nobody wants what I have to give. Yes, they do. Somebody needs what you have to give. And you just have to be willing, I think, to give it. So would you speak on that? Just validate the worth of people? Because I think sometimes we fall into these things where we become oppressed by our own thoughts.
Yeah. Here's what I did, because that was me.
Okay.
That was me. I was like, why would it be me? Like, what are you going to use in me? I wrote in a journal a long time ago, way before any of this happened, when life seemed really perfect. And I prayed that dangerous prayer, God, use me. If I could be usable, use me. Then I got divorced. I got cancer. The world came crashing down, and I go, later it was like, you made me usable. Okay, great. You made me a tool, but I want to tell you how my grandpa trained my brain. So I ended up having to put sticky notes all over my house to erase and eliminate all the nasty thoughts that would pop in. You're not worth it. You're not worth. Okay, well, that's Satan's great way of being like, got another one bites the dust.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I filled my house with positive things. I was reading books like crazy. Greatest salesman in the world. I was going, I will persist until I succeed. I will greet this day with love in my heart. I had the whole thing memorized. I drilled my brain. And my grandpa, growing up, his thoughts would pop in, and he was the realist. My grandma was like, it's the first day of the rest of your life, real, encourager. My grandpa was like, get up, kid. Not everybody made it today. You better get after it, right?
God bless them. That's awesome.
Yep. And so I kind of had both worlds, but I started waking myself up with the message I wanted to live. So I'd ask everybody on here, what message do you want to live? And so I started going, my sales are my service. This is my impact on the world. I'd wake up and I'd say, feet on the floor, who's the lucky one to run into me today? It gets to be me. I woke up today. I get to have this opportunity. And it changed my entire flow of life. I woke up, I get to be a mom. Not everybody does, and I lost one along the way. It was horrendous. I get to parent these children. I get to cook food. I get to pick up dirty socks. I get to do all of these things. And if you realize that the alternative is the worst thing in the world, not getting to, it'll change how you wake up. Wake up differently.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege to deal with all this stuff. I love that you would say it that way. I come from a world where a lot of stuff, especially during communism, it was bread lines. It was take COVID times 10. So if folks are like, oh my God, COVID, I have to be indoors and play PlayStation and watch Netflix all day. It's terrible. I'm like, okay, imagine you didn't have television. Imagine it was real bread lines. It was armed patrol everywhere. Imagine that there was spies in every corner of the place. There's no freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom. Like, take that times 10. So when you come here, it's like, thank God for what we have here. I'm so thankful. Whatever your belief system is, folks, I'm not here to impose my beliefs upon you, but be thankful for the things that you do have. Because if you're only focused on the things that you don't, it's a miserable life. It really, really is. And you wrote the book, I think it's called I Choose Joy, right? That's your book title. And like, it's a choice. So talk to us about that choice, would you? Because I think this is where the victim mentality kind of goes out the window when you have an inherent choice to make, one or the other.
Right. I mean, every day we wake with the choice of how we look at our life. Are we going to do it? Are we going to take it for granted? Right? Are we going to capitalize on it? Are we going to make a difference? And the I Choose Joy statement came out of the worst time in my life thus far. So far, careful what I say. Okay. Of cancer and divorce, and my family completely never talking to me again, telling me I'm a horrible human and parent, and every worst nightmare you could ever imagine that would make you know that you're worthy to do a lot, right? It was the worst time in the world, and I was kind of like, I have two choices: to say F you to the world, or say I choose joy. Yeah. I choose kindness. I choose forgiveness. I choose grace. I see your resentment on your face, and I choose to help you heal that. Right? Yeah. I don't need to make you proud. I need to help you not hurt. Right? And I think when I realized that me hurting from other people's stuff, or me reacting to what people had to say about me, the only person that hurt was me. They'd win when I did that. And when I stopped reacting and I started just serving, I chose joy, even when it was undeserved. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about grace. It's forgiveness undeserved. You know how much power you have when you can give to somebody what they don't deserve? It shuts down all hurt, all anger, all power. It cannot, and I've had some of that I've battled for 10 years with people in my family. It wins eventually. I Choose Joy saved my life and my peace of mind, and it's healed many hearts and minds. And so, we have a choice, get mad, get even, or get good. I love that. Good news and the good in you, you're going to do more good. Yeah. And I love this idea that you're inherently worthy, so when you choose joy, you don't have to qualify for grace. There's no prerequisite. This is not, some electoral thing in, university or college. You're inherently worthy. It's already there for you. So that's the beautiful part, I think, with life, is that it's there. Number one, you've got to believe it's there. That's probably the first roadblock. Would you agree, for people, is that they don't even believe it's possible. They don't believe they're worthy. They don't believe that opportunity exists. They're blind to that piece. And then once you believe it's there, then you have to make a choice to follow it. So when people make a choice, right? Is there anything stopping you at this point? Is there anything that's going to hold you back, Danelle, from doing amazing, phenomenal things beyond what you've already accomplished? No, I believe, God already has a plan. All I got to do is show up and live like I am worthy of it every day. Come on, right? Now. Every single time I step, doors open. So I think about those people. I had a mentor once tell me this, and he said, listen, when you are offered an opportunity, when you hear something that moves you, when you feel called, he goes, and if you don't take it, the door closes and it never opens again. And I was like, so I think he feared me into taking action, but it worked. So I don't know if that's accurate or not. But I'll tell you, nothing will stop you when you understand the only answer to opportunity and service and using of your gifts is to say yes. Sure. Will you do this interview? Yes. Right? I trained someone for the last 6 hours straight, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you texted me this morning. I'm a little tired. I'm ponytail hair, but let's do this. Let's roll. Yes. So choosing it. Probably one of the best interviews I've ever done. I love it. What an incredible human you are. So I'm so glad I said yes. I love it. So I think, and I appreciate that sentiment so much. I think when you're saying yes, you're saying I will win. It's that simple, folks.
instead of trying to predict the future and predict exactly how you'll win, how about you just decide I'm winning? And then whatever the future brings, bring it on. Because I'm ready for this. I'm ready. I'm here ready to conquer. I'm here in my conviction and my faith that I'm not going to lose. So I've got this permeating thought that before life kicks you in the head and before it knocks you down and before it beats you up, you can beat it to that conviction. You can just decide right here, right now, hey, my life is bad. It could be worse, but guess what? I start today. Today I'm running towards it instead of walking. I'm not a cripple. I don't have a wheelchair. I can run towards the things that are meant for me versus me waiting for life to hit me in the head hard enough where then I have to make a conscious decision. So I think a lot of us, we get to that point anyways when life beats you and you say, oh God, I lost my job, COVID here, my family's sick, this is happening now I have to. I have that $4 present for my child. Now I have to. And I believe that you will get there at some point, but I think you can make a conscious decision before that moment and say, you know what? Maybe I don't need to go through that. I feel the pain even before I have to feel the pain. I just need to go and do the right thing. Do you agree with that, or do you think people have to go through this massive windfall before they can rise back up?
Oh, no, I've saved a lot of people from learning from me, right? I'll go, well, you got two choices. You can either learn the hard way or the fast way. Which would you prefer?
Yep.
Right? I mean, if you want to know the truth, if you talk psychology, okay, two things create change in people.
Yeah.
Choice or massive emotional trauma. Which path you want to take.
Okay.
Okay. That's it.
Keep going. So you wanted the easy way or the hard way is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me, I can tell them, I'll go, listen, I was the frying pan kid. You got to hit me in the face with it or I missed the message. Right? 3 times. Got it. Clear.
You got to get hit in the face 3 times before she says yes to the what's going on. Okay.
I can grab a hold of someone's heart and I'll go, listen, it's true, right?
Yeah.
It's in there. You wouldn't have heard it. Tell me what it is. And they can describe it with such words. And I go, that's not an accident. Okay, so we're there. You want to do it fast or you want to do it hard? You pick. We can either start it today or you can go ahead and wait till you have to start it. I think it was
come on now.
Jack Welch said, change before you have to.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. I love that. So that's going to tie me into the next piece. So for a long time, I struggled because when I was younger, I bought into this training program and I spent $40,000 at 23 years old, just got married with my wife. I said, I'm maxing out our credit cards and I'm going to join this program and I'm going to be rich. And I didn't know how or where, but give me the credit card. And it was my mother-in-law's credit card. And I wasn't accountable. The company didn't hold me accountable. It was one of those big box, kind of things. And what happened was I went cleaning, carpet cleaning, janitorial, toilet scrubbing. So I paid back every cent of that money, and it left a horrible taste in my mouth. And I was resentful, bitter, frustrated. And I said, you know what? Mentors are for lazy people. Mentors are for people that can't do it on their own, and I can do it on my own. And it wasn't until I hit a brick wall where my last employee finally quit on me. And I was, I couldn't find any more deal opportunities for my real estate company. And after years, I was like, I am back to square one. I need help. And then I finally went and found a mentor. Talk to me about the power of mentorship, because I think so many people see it as like, man, it's an expense. It's an expense. It's when it is absolutely not an expense. The hard way or the fast way. Can you talk to me about the value of mentorship? Because, I love hearing it from your perspective, and just give it to me straight.
Yeah. Absolutely. I actually was just in Forbes on this exact topic.
Love it.
Because I believe in it so big. Here's the thing. Okay. You can do it on your own. It's slower. You can do it with help. It's faster. That's point blank. That's easy. Now, you got to research the mentorship. But I want you to think about this. Okay. When you ask for people's help, okay, let's just say you get free mentorship. Free mentorship, I want people to understand that is dangerous. Here's why. You pay me for mentorship. Somebody pays you for mentorship. You are invested in their win, because if they lose, it looks bad on you too. Yep. Right?
Correct.
So my clients, we winning. Like, it's an interview process to work with me. I don't want lazy people. I don't want people who are going to try. Right? Yep. I go, that's on me. But if you give somebody, if you're getting advice from somebody who's giving you free advice, listen, they're giving you advice in their spare time. Is that what you want to bet your life on? Right?
Come on now.
I don't really care about it. And does it work or not? Who knows? Doesn't really matter to them. Doesn't really matter to you. Good luck with that. And I think about that when people ask me for advice. I say, well, Do you want the advice in my spare time, or do you want me to help you win? There are two chances here, right? I'll try and help as many as I can, but listen, if you're running with me, we're winning. That's the answer. So that's why it's important. Like, study who you're going to mentor. If they're doing what you love and they're proving it, start little. Great. When it wins, go more. Like, that's how it's supposed to work. When it pays off, you do it, and it builds the trust factor in yourself that there are people worthy of trusting, because there are also people definitely not worthy of trusting. They come out and go, hey, it's $100,000. What am I going to get? Do you want my time? Right? Like, if it feels weird, it's weird.
Yeah. If it's creepy, it's creepy. Just like high school, just like with mentorship. It's the same thing, right?
Yes, your instincts have already been trained by your experiences.
Yeah.
So let them be trained correctly, but don't bet your future on somebody else's spare time.
I love that. And, it comes down to this idea that I think about, which I learned from a good friend of mine I see him in the comments, Judge Graham, counsel versus advice. Hey, it's Ben Humble. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what my guest is talking about and you're getting massive value from it, then scroll to the bottom, open up the description, and follow them on social media. Support them, connect with them. Just scroll down there, click the link, and let's roll. Stay humble. I love Judge. I think he's still here. Judge, give us a thumbs up if you're still on here, my man. I see you commented 3 times. So, counsel versus advice. And he says, you don't want advice. Everybody will give you advice for free. It doesn't cost anything, so it's not worth anything. Advice comes from a place of basically ignorance. They don't know what they don't know, but they heard it, they read it, they whatever. It's unvalidated information, right? Counsel comes from somebody who has done exactly what you want to do. They understand the roadblocks. They understand that it's a process and you need to undergo change and you need to undergo that experience. However, they are equipped to help you smoothen those road bumps and go through them faster. You still gotta go over it. It's simple. You still gotta go over the lessons. But they can look at your business from a great perspective, from a large microscopic lens, and say, there's a hurdle, there's a hurdle, there's a hurdle. You're not even seeing this thing here. But by the way, here's a massive solution, here's a massive solution. So that is a shortcut. As far as I'm concerned, the moment I hired my first mentor, I remember I spent $10,000 on this mentor. And over the next 16 months, my business made $750,000 from that mentorship, and my life was completely shifted. I said, I finally found the answer. You see, I'm not that bright. I failed math 2 times in high school, twice, right? Actually, I think it was the same teacher failed me, so I don't know if it was him or me, whatever it was. But the truth was, I know that I could go to like after school program and get help. So it's like, I don't have to be the brightest guy. I just have to find people who know the stuff that I need to know. So inherently, it was kind of with me since high school. I developed a bad taste over it. And then I finally grew up, became humble, dropped the ego, and said, help me. Just help me. And I think, as we tie this in, people are willing to help. The right mentor understands that if you win, they win. So, a mentor who's saying, sure, no problem, I'll give it to you for free. Folks, you don't want free. The information isn't your problem. How many things are on YouTube now that people can watch for free on every topic under the sun? They still don't win. So talk to me maybe as we tie in this, where does accountability play in with mentorship?
Yeah, it's they're one and the same, right? They shouldn't ever happen without it.
Okay.
Every single year, I give away 2 free tickets to my event. Somebody who's followed me swears on their life that they need a break because I was given some breaks. I give away 2 to every event that I do. I've only ever had 1 person show up from those free tickets and they left early. There is no investment. There will be no change. And so you can grow from watching free stuff on the internet. That is why I have a following. You can grow, but can you advance on the dream and what you are capable of without being all in yourself? I don't believe so, because the stars don't align for those who dabble, right? Like, if you're going a little bit, you're going to get a little bit.
So true. So true. And if they don't pay attention. Let's call it what it is. If it doesn't hurt you in your pocketbook, people add so much value, so much, idolization to money. Like, if it doesn't cost you, if it doesn't put you in some kind of constraint, you're not going to fight out of it. That's why I can do stuff for free forever. And I could give you the secrets to the kingdom and every real estate thing in Canada that we've done, and you're still not going to do it. You won't, because you're not accountable. Because when I tell you the answer is as simple as ABC, what do you mean make 5 offers a day? That's how I buy real estate. It's that simple. Make 5 offers a day. Well, it can't be that simple, so I'm not going to do it. Okay, I'll just keep making 5 offers a day, or my team will, or whatever. So it's one and the same, right? I think when you pay, you're basically buying accountability from your mentor. That's how I see it. How do you see it? Do you view it that way?
Yeah, 100%. I have friends who, because they're my friends, want all the info.
Amen.
Right? And I go, same price. They're like, no way.
Yep.
I'm like, there are no friend discounts.
Yep.
Like there's none of that, because every time I've done it, it turns around to bites me, right? And here's the thing. If you are not accountable to what you want, like you don't really want it, right? There's like one thing, pick one thing. I was on a training last night. I don't know if you guys know Todd Stottlemyre, 3-time World Series baseball champ. Just amazing. Hey, Toronto Blue Jays.
Hey, yeah.
Okay. So, and he said something, he goes, you need to pick one thing that if you did every single day for the rest of this year would completely transform your life and do it. Just start with one thing. Okay, you can do that for free. All of you listening, you can do that for free. Everything else, you gotta pay. You could hear that for free. You gotta pay someone to make sure you're gonna do it every day.
Yes.
Or you're not gonna do it every day.
That's right. It's so true. It's like when I'm trying to lose weight and I'm like, I was about 45 pounds heavier at one point, right? And I'm like, life, your business, you make excuses, all the crap in the world, then you're heavier, right? And I'm like, I need to lose some weight. So I go on this like huge diet and lose a whole bunch of weight and I gain it all back again and I start losing it again. And I'm like, what is going on here? And my wife says it's because you're inconsistent. I was like, first of all, don't talk to me like that. But second of all, you're right. It's like, you're right. I am inconsistent. She's like, you need a coach. And so I got a fitness coach. And this dude texts me every day. Are we Gucci? That's his language. Are we Gucci, man? Dude, are we Gucci? I'm like, yeah, we Gucci today, man. But I messed up. I had a donut. Give me the backlashing and let me get back to work, right, kind of thing. So, but what happened was I finally started losing that last 10, 15 pounds because this dude is like, no, man. You're all about the drama, not the data. And I'm like, okay, what do you mean? He's like, well, I told you 100 calories a day will make a huge difference in your caloric deficit. You're either following the rules or you're not. You're either cheating yourself or you're not. He's like, he said to me, he's like, dude, I'm not fat. It's your problem if you don't follow the rules. I was like, I guess you're right. So you're going to pay me anyways, whether you lose weight or you don't lose weight. And I'm like, dude, you're very, very right. So I think it's the same way, Danelle. It's like when you want to cheat, I had somebody call me today and we have a mentorship package, right? And it's 25 grand. And they're like, what if I pay you 18? It's like, what if I give you 3/4 of the energy and, dedication and commitment that I'm like, why are you cheating yourself? If you cheat yourself, what's going to happen? If you're looking for a shortcut here, you'll look for a shortcut on the other thing because the way you do one thing is the way you do all things. And when I call you and you're like, dude, well, it's Saturday and it's raining, so I don't know if I really want to do a mentorship call right now. You're not going to answer the phone. So that's the truth. So I love that there's so much we vamp on today here. And I want to touch on some of the things you got going on if we could. First of all, I Choose Joy. Throw the book on the screen there, Hans. Put it up there. We got cousin Vinny in the house. We started calling him Hans at the beginning of this season, so he's been going by Hans this entire time. We're gonna put I Choose Joy. You've got Elite Retreat. I know it's something that you do. You've also got there's another mastermind that you talk to us about, like the Game Changer Mastermind. Some of those things. I love our folks to kind of get acquainted and start connecting with you outside of this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. There's levels of learning, right? I always like to start people online. I have a system called Win on Repeat.
Okay.
That winonrepeat.com is pretty great. It always starts with a little webinar, but it's an annual system to train your brain to win. And when your brain's trained to win, we get to build a brand that wins. And so that's where my retreats are. I love pulling people out of their environments, reminding them who they actually are and what they're capable of, and building a business and life that they love. So, as many times as I can, I like to help people monetize all their hard work. That's it. A lot of people working hard, not many really knowing how to monetize that the correct way, where it's a win-win for customers and for themselves. So that's kind of what I'm all about. And I help a lot of entrepreneurs do good so they can give good. And we got a lot of good to do in the world. So if you're winning at all, understand you're the ones that are supposed to be giving.
I love that.
That's how
I love that. And we're going to have to do some giving together. That's what we're going to have to do, you and me, because I connected with Caring House Project, and one of the masterminds I'm a member of. We built a village in Haiti through Caring House, and it was such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And Probably the proudest moment ever. I've got a painting on my wall. It's like this beautiful thing that we paid for. I bought it so we can build like 3/4 of a village with this thing. And it was like, that's really what it is, folks. At the end of the day, once you have your initial, your car, your house, and your basic needs, and you've got, even if you subscribe to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, once you have that stuff, self-actualization, the best thing that you're going to get fulfillment from is from helping other people. So at some point, giving is the game, not earning. We can always earn. And I would subscribe to you're creating wealth, not earning wealth. There's a whole bunch of stuff under that category, but giving it away, something my pastor said as we kind of tie up, and he says, you have two options in life. You can live like this. This represents your closed heart and your closed hand. Nothing can really leave, but nothing can really come back in. Or you can live like this. An open heart is an open hand. So money, things can pour out, generosity can pour out, and you're opening your heart and your mind so that it can also pour in. So you've got that choice, my friend. So I would subscribe to you that if you're living like this, let's start thinking about living like this. And whatever you think it's costing you, whether it's mentorship, whether it's helping people, whether it's that homeless guy on the street who just needs a sandwich and you drive by him every day. If you just live like this, you don't have to keep track. God's keeping track for you. He's the ultimate accountant. And he knows how much it's costing you, how much you're getting, and it'll come back. Whether you believe in reciprocity, you just believe in doing good or paying it forward, whatever your terminology is, it will come back to you. And you're opening yourself up in an abundant mindset where the blessings will keep coming back. So I appreciate you so much for this conversation. It's one of my favorite interviews. I just absolutely love it. And I'm so thankful that you're here. Any words, like as we depart here for our friends who are watching this, where, anything that's on your heart you want to share?
Number one, thank you for what you're doing and who you are. We need people of every age and rank believing in this, and you're giving them a place to hear, thousands and thousands of people. So that's it. And I promise you, if this moved you today, you are meant to move. Work so hard, you can give like crazy. That's what it's about. And that's where you'll really go, okay, now I just started living.
I love that. And what's the best place that folks can keep in contact with you? What social media channel do you prefer here that people follow you?
Absolutely. Facebook or Instagram, Danelle Delgado. I love training everybody there. Friday nights, every night at 8. And that's kind of how it works. Or my website, DanelleDelgado.com.
Make sure to subscribe to Ben on YouTube so you can stay up to date on everything Humble, featuring daily episodes of the Humble Podcast and weekly video content providing motivation, real estate strategies, and personal development for everyday life. Also, follow Ben on Facebook and Instagram for daily interactions. Check out humble.ceo and download a chapter of Ben's new book, From Communism to Capitalism, absolutely free.